You got that selective hearing, huh? This pistol will be the last thing you ever hear, bitch.
Sorry?
What? Disrespecting who, motherfucker?
The film begins at the Mexico-United States border, where Bryant leads a humble life, living in a small truck and working as a construction laborer. Each morning, he devotes himself to rigorous martial arts training, sharpening his skills with unwavering discipline. Watching from a concealed spot, Oscar, a high school student, quietly studies Bryant's every move, passionately imitating him with the dream of one day becoming a professional fighter. But after school, on his way home, Oscar is suddenly accosted by a group of local thugs. They're members of the notorious L-17 gang, led by the dangerous and feared Flo. The gang members tried to force Oscar into their car, but he stood his ground and quickly slipped away behind a hidden alley. By coincidence, Bryant witnessed the entire scene through the window of a nearby diner. That evening, Flo and his crew broke into Oscar's home, accusing him of disrespecting the brothers in the neighborhood. As it turned out, Oscar's older brother, Hector, was once the local leader of the L-17 gang, but after walking away from that life, he left Oscar to face the dangers alone. Since then, Oscar had done his best to avoid the gang, especially Flo, who never passed up an opportunity to intimidate or humiliate him. The next morning, Bryant noticed Oscar once again quietly studying and mirroring his every move. Curious, he approached the teenager. When Oscar asked to be trained in martial arts, Bryant saw promise in the boy and chose to take him under his wing. Over the following months, he put Oscar through intense training, instilling in him a strict sense of discipline. Bryant taught him a distinctive fighting style, his own refined blend of martial arts, shaped and perfected through years of real-world combat experience. One day, Hector, Oscar's older brother and former leader of the L-17 gang, returned to town. He immediately sensed something suspicious about Bryant, suspecting he was tied to law enforcement. Worried for Oscar, Hector repeatedly warned him to keep his distance. Though Oscar didn't argue, he quietly held onto his passion for martial arts. Hoping to continue training, he visited a local gym, where the manager, Marisol, recognized him and reminded him of an unused seasonal training pass he had purchased months earlier. One evening, the L-17 gang gathered at an underground arena known for its brutal, no-rules fights. Among the fiercest competitors was the Collector, a ruthless fighter undefeated for years. Wearing a smug grin, he swiftly demolished his opponent, driving the crowd into a frenzy. Suddenly, Oscar stepped forward, announcing his challenge to the infamous fighter. The crowd scoffed he was just a high school kid. But once the fight began, Oscar shocked everyone, showcasing the unique techniques Bryant had taught him. Within minutes, the Collector, the undefeated champion, was defeated. Oscar's shocking victory went viral, drawing widespread attention. The next morning, Hector offered Bryant generous payment to keep training Oscar, convinced his brother had the potential to go pro. But Bryant refused. His goal was never fame or competition, only to teach Oscar how to protect himself in a dangerous world. Hector, refusing rejection, drew a gun to threaten Bryant, but Bryant quickly disarmed him, shocking Hector and his men. With a cold glare, Bryant warned them never to return. Meanwhile, Oscar's viral fight caught the attention of lawyer Pio, who hurried to inform his key client, Sony, a powerful Mafia boss still controlling from prison. Sony immediately recognized that only Bryant, his longtime enemy, could have trained Oscar to such skill. Enraged, he commanded his lawyer to send deadly assassins to the Mexican town. Days later at the gym, Oscar and Hector were confronted by Colombian twins, Ivan and Vlad, who claimed to be scouting new talent for the ruthless bare-knuckle fighting arena, where victory depended solely on blood, fists, and willpower. The twins questioned Bryant, sure he was behind Oscar's skills. But Hector sensed danger and told them to leave. Once they were gone, he warned Oscar they seemed more like assassins than scouts. Oscar felt a chill. Bryant was at risk. Urging Hector, they rushed to Bryant's truck, where Oscar quickly warned him about the Colombians. Bryant instantly recognized the twins as assassins, not scouts. He ordered Oscar, Hector, and Marisol to hide in a secure armored vehicle. The twins opened fire, killing 2 of Hector's men. While Oscar and the others took cover inside the vehicle, Bryant chased the assassins to distract them. Returning at the right moment, he revealed a shocking truth. He was a former undercover agent who had put Sony, the Mafia boss, behind it all, behind bars. Though imprisoned, Mafia boss Sony still ruled the underworld and had tracked Bryant's location, sending assassins to kill him. Sensing the danger, Bryant told the others to stay inside while he slipped out through a secret passage. Under the cover of darkness, he silently approached one twin and swiftly struck with his signature B-cross dagger, killing him instantly. The second twin turned, but Bryant was already on him, disarming him with lightning speed, ready to finish the fight. Bryant doused the assassin with gasoline, demanding the name of the mastermind. Realizing escape was impossible, the assassin lit a match and burned himself alive, refusing to betray his employer. Knowing more assassins were near, Bryant quickly led Oscar, Hector, and Marisol out of the truck through a hidden underground passage. As they moved through the tunnel, he warned them firmly to stay away. Sony was one of America's most powerful mafia bosses, and any connection to Bryant would put them all in grave danger. After imprisoning Sony, Bryant sent his wife abroad for safety and went into hiding in Mexico, knowing the mafia boss would never stop hunting him. Sensing the rising danger, he urged Oscar, Hector, and Marisol to leave and avoid getting caught in his battle. Without a word, he bowed his head and returned to his truck, only to be confronted minutes later by armed police ordering him to surrender. With the instincts of a seasoned warrior, Bryant immediately realized these weren't real cops, but Sony's men in disguise. He struck first, taking them down without mercy. After clearing the scene, he disappeared into the shadows. Furious at the failure, Sony quickly ordered his trusted enforcer Alex to capture Hector and force him to reveal Bryant's location. Hector didn't know Bryant's location, but Alex didn't care. He coldly ordered Hector to cut off his own ear as a brutal warning. Before Hector could react, a shadow moved swiftly. Bryant appeared, armed and lethal. He tore through the enemies with deadly precision, and within moments, the battle was over. On the bloodied ground, only Bryant and the still-bound Hector remained. Alex, the sole survivor, stared in terror, unable to believe one man had wiped out an entire squad so quickly. Meanwhile, Oscar and Marisol searched desperately for Bryant, but he seemed to have vanished. Suddenly, armed men in sweat-soaked uniforms appeared, putting Oscar on high alert. Before he could react, one removed his mask. It was Eric, Bryant's former police colleague. Eric quickly assured them he meant no harm and urgently asked for their help in finding Bryant. As Oscar sat in the police car, he sensed something was wrong. Quietly, he sent a warning message to Bryant before it was too late. When Bryant learned Eric was after him, he knew Oscar and Marisol were in danger. Once a trusted colleague, Eric had betrayed them, lured by mafia money. He had become one of Sony's most loyal henchmen. Posing as an ally, Eric brought Oscar and Marisol to Valdez's estate, a local mafia boss and Sony's close partner. There, the gangsters had laid a perfect trap, aiming to lure Bryant into their territory for revenge. To seal the plan, they forced Oscar to call Bryant for help, leaving him no choice but to lead them into the ambush. Bryant and Hector quickly saw that Valdez's estate was a trap. Knowing they couldn't face the entire criminal network alone, they rallied the fiercest members of the L-17 gang for a daring rescue mission. Slowly but surely, their team advanced on the heavily fortified estate, clashing fiercely with security forces and suffering heavy casualties on both sides. Amid the chaos, Bryant and Hector slipped in from the rear, silently taking down guards to clear a path into the stronghold. Using his expert combat skills, Bryant methodically eliminated every foe, blazing a trail toward their target. Meanwhile, Oscar and Marisol broke free from their restraints. Oscar seized Eric's gun and fired a precise shot, critically wounding the traitor. Hearing the gunshot, Bryant burst into the room, helping Oscar escape while taking down the remaining Mafia members. Meanwhile, Sony, unaware of the crushing defeat, seethed with rage. But his fury was just beginning. Bryant and his team had already planned a prison break, poised to dismantle the empire Sony had built over years. As Good as Dead delivers a gripping action-packed story filled with thrilling fights and intense revenge. Beyond the adrenaline, it captures the fierce spirit of fighting for justice. What did you think of the movie? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for reading, and see you in the next post.